Hello everyone, I'm home. Welcome back to my channel. Do you guys remember a few videos back where I showed you how I decorated my bed and I would put candles in a tray on it on days that I was home all day just so that it would look pretty when I walked through, and then I would sit on the bed and watch YouTube videos and do bills and catch up on some things. And I kind of fibbed to you guys and told you I don't do that very often and I probably wouldn't do it again, but I turned around the other day and I absolutely did it again. We've had nothing but cold, rainy days, and I had a beautiful tray that I had purchased at a thrift store. And I was done with my taxes, I was done with my bills. I had some videos I wanted to watch. It was pouring down rain and gloomy outside. So I took this tray that I got. It was a brand new tray, and it hadn't even had the plastic off of the part that has the plates and everything on it. And I thought it was so pretty, and you know how I like my blue and white plates. I thought that was really pretty, that it had the plates and it had some fruit on it. And I didn't take the plastic off just to protect that part of the tray. But I had a blue candle and I had some new roses I'd picked up at the grocery store. And I just was so relieved to have all my work done that I sat down and really enjoyed some videos, and I caught up on some messaging and that kind of thing. I found these roses at the grocery store. They were on clearance for $1.49, a whole bouquet. And of course, I had my French Cottage magazine, and I'm getting all kinds of inspiration for spring from my old magazines. I mean, this is Garden of Bliss. It's put out by Victoria magazine. I've had it for several years, but I get them out every year, and they all have new ideas when you haven't looked at them for a while. And of course, my roses all over the Victoria magazines. I'm just getting so excited about my garden, and I've already planted some seeds, and I started a rosemary plant and some basil to put in my kitchen. But I just thought you guys might enjoy seeing my little setup. I sat in there all afternoon because it literally rained all day long, and it was just gloomy, and it was a perfect day to sit in and do fun stuff. So I thought you guys might kind of enjoy my new tray. And I think I've got somebody in mind I'm going to give that tray to. And then my husband got me this pretty little mug for Easter that has my pretty roses on it. And I broke down and got some herbal tea for anxiety and stress. And I don't like it, but I wanted to show you these earrings that my friend Wenda made me. I like long, dangly earrings, and she made these for me quite a while back, and I just love them. And I told you that I hang my necklaces on my lamp finial so that they're ready for the next day, or if I'm going to wear them. Or this one I kind of wear a lot. So I just took my earrings and hung them on the little pieces of the chain and just leave them there so that they're there tomorrow. I think I have a white blouse I'm going to wear these with. And then, of course, I put my bracelet around the finial at the top, and I've got my whole get up right there on my lamp. That's kind of silly, but that's how I do it. And then I was showing you the picture that I got at TJ Maxx that had the rabbit on it, and this is the opposite side that has the roses on it. And I can't wait to fill it with flowers. And then I was thrifting in the free bin. Guys, look at the free bins. This is a beautiful 8-inch compote bowl. It's a real dark brown, and it's got a real soft peachy pink colored peony on it. And I just love it. I thought it'd be pretty for some kind of a dip. And then in the free bin, I got this very old plate. It's from the 1800s, and it's not flow blue, I don't believe, but it's got a blue pattern, and it's really blurred, and it's got a little bit of gold, and when you turn it over, the backside is really blurry, the stamp, and it looks like it has a crack all the way through it, but it's just a surface crack. It doesn't go very deep into the plate, and it was free. And you know me and my blue and white and 1800s, I'm all over that. And so I just checked out the crack real good and realized it wasn't anything major. And then I just tucked it on a cabinet behind some of my copper. I think blue and white looks so pretty with copper. And I just tucked it back there. And then at the free bin, I found this paperweight that's just beautiful. It has seashells in it, and it was in really good shape. It's probably about 4 inches across, and I keep these on my desk because I always have piles of papers that need weighted down, and it's just the perfect size, and it's in beautiful condition. The free bin at this thrift store is so much fun to go through because they put really nice things in it. And I don't normally go for doilies, but this one is an ecru colored one, and it's handmade, and it's a long rectangle shape. It's almost the length of a runner. And it was in the free bin, and I couldn't pass that up. Plus, someone worked really hard on this. I mean, that's hard to do, to make a pattern like that, let alone this big. So I bought it, and I put it over that little footstool on my kitchen counter that I put the wood on top of because it didn't have a top. And the nice thing about a doily is it holds onto your dishes so they don't slip and slide around. Then in the free bin, I found this large tin plate. It's just a decorative plate you hang on the wall. And I have someone in mind that I'm going to give this to. She likes lemons, and she likes blue and yellow. And I thought it looked pretty, but I just kind of tucked it back on that little footstool by that old platter that's from the 1800s. And it'll just sit there until... And I found this little casserole dish. It's just a one-serving casserole dish in the free bin, and it was yellow. So I just set it there to look pretty until I give it to her. But guys, the free bin is amazing. You just never know what's going to be in it. Sometimes it's just junk, but sometimes there's some good stuff. And I also found this for 50 cents. It was Martha Stewart's baking book, and boy, it is big and loaded with all kinds of baking ideas. She goes into great detail. It's an older book. I think it's 2005. And of course, I took the cover off, and it was orange, which you know I'll be setting that on my counter this fall. And it had originally been $40. I would never give $40 for a book, but it's got a lot of pie recipes. I can't show you all the pictures in it because I don't want to get a copyright violation, but it's got a lot of good ideas. And you know me, I'm always going to be looking and getting some new ideas for cakes and pies and any kind of baking. And I wanted to give a shout out to Marie Callender's pie crust. These are double pie crust. They're deep dish. They're usually kind of expensive, but for Easter they had them on sale. I think it was $3.50 for 2 of them. And I can't make a pie crust this good. It's really a good tasting pie crust. I like it better than Pillsbury. I like it better than any I've tried. They're nice and big. They bake up nice and flaky. And they're just beautiful. I take a fork and prick them a little bit with a fork. And in a pinch, they're a good pie crust. So after Easter, we didn't have any pie at Easter, so I decided that we had so many cakes, I would bake a butterscotch pie the other day. So I used the Marie Callender's pie crust, and like I said, they're deep dish, so you have a lot of room. Now on this recipe, it calls for 1 cup of brown sugar for this butterscotch pie. What I use is 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar and 3/4 cup of white sugar, or brown sugar, regular brown sugar, 3/4 cup of light brown sugar and 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar. It just makes the pie a little browner and a little bit richer tasting. And then, of course, I used 4 eggs. So I used 4 eggs for the meringue. And I had a nice high meringue, and it baked up just beautiful. I can't have this kind of pie on my diet, but my husband sure enjoyed it. And I took some to a couple of the neighbors, and they all really liked it. And I put it on one of my big cake stands and set it in front of my Martha Stewart book. And there it is, all cut, and it stayed really firm. Sometimes I cut them too early when they're too warm and they run a little bit. And it was a rainy day, so the meringue got a little weepy. But it turned out tasty, and I think Martha would approve. And then I told you I would show you some of the Easter cakes. I was going to make a big Easter cake after making those little tuna can cakes. Well, I got lazy and ended up just making tuna can cakes. I made a bunch of them, and I had made all my flowers and put them in the freezer. So I just put too many roses on those little cakes. And of course, you saw the one with the little bunny on it. But they turned out cute, and everybody liked them. Now, this was one made out of a little bit bigger pan, but it's not a very big cake either. And when my boys came home, Marcus said, "Mom, can we smash into this cake?" I said, "Well, that's what it's for." And then someone had asked me in the comments how I get the cake out of a tuna can. Well, I line the bottom with parchment paper, a little circle, and around the edge, or you can use wax paper too. And I put it in the freezer. I pop it out of the can. It just comes completely out of the can. Put it in the freezer, and then when you're ready to ice it, just pull the paper off and ice it. And it's really easy to ice when they're frozen. Now, this is my last cake. I was so sick of doing cakes. I had company coming, and I was done. So I just dumped what was left of the buttercream on top of this little cake, and that's what it looked like. And they looked really cute sitting on the table, and when my kids got here, they dug into them, and everybody had their own little tuna can cake. And like I said, I kind of put too many roses on them, but I'd made so many anticipating bigger cakes. And then for my miniatures this time, I thought I'd show you all my little Flow Blue dishes that I've made. They're all about 1.5 inches in width. And this is a little cabinet that's in my little miniature antique store. And this is what it looks like in the miniature antique store. I'm sure I've showed you these pictures before, but I change them around a little bit when it comes summertime and spring. I put flags out and decorate them a little bit more. And these are some plates that hang on the wall. And then I was driving around the other day and I had to stop by Man's Chapel, and it was a cold, rainy day. And Man's Chapel, I don't care what the weather is, it's always beautiful there. It was a little bit eerie today when I filmed this, but I thought it was pretty anyway. I love Man's Chapel. Like I said, spring, summer, winter, or fall, it's beautiful. And I showed you these little plates that I made for my nature tree. I think what I'm going to do I'm leaving my nature tree out. So I think for the 4th of July or just summertime, I'm going to make some of these and make them a little bit bigger and use like my red transferware. I can take some pictures of my red transferware, my blues, and make like a little bit bigger plate. And I'll have all my little antique flags on the tree and all these little dishes. Now, in my last video, I talked a lot about Marcus, but let's talk about this little guy. This is Matthew. He's a twin to Marcus, and they're 24 years old, and he is a sweetheart. Marcus is more outgoing and doesn't mind having his picture taken. Matt doesn't like it, so I don't do it if he doesn't like it. But I snuck some pictures of him when he wasn't looking. And he's our little muscle man, and he is the sweetest boy that has ever graced the earth, I swear. He never walks through the room without stopping and kissing his mother. And he kisses his dad, too, and he's just a sweetheart. And the other night, I took the boys and Kevin to a ball game tournament. They've been going to a lot of those lately, and I dropped them off for a 4-game tournament, and I found the neatest little Mexican restaurant. It was called Tequila Sunrise, and like I told you before, I don't mind dining by myself. There were a lot of families and a lot of people in this restaurant, and I did not care. I sat there by myself and enjoyed this delicious Mexican meal. I caught up on some messages on YouTube and emails and stuff, and I made some lists and wrote a couple checks, and I took care of business, and I loved it. It was the most peaceful dinner. And then when I left, there was the most beautiful rainbow, because like I said, it's been raining like crazy around here, and it was sunny and rainbow when I came out. And I've been thinking, guys, my videos are all starting to look the same and sound the same. I need you to tell me what kind of content you'd like to see. I'm going to be doing more videos. My garden, I cannot wait to start gardening, and I'm going to be doing all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm going to try to remember to film everything so you guys can see what I'm doing. These are pictures from last year's garden. And I just don't want to bore you guys. And I want to show you so many things, but it seems like just lately I haven't been able to do too much. But like today I put a couch cover on my couch, like a linen canvas cover, and it's really pretty. And I didn't think to take a picture of what it looked like before and show you what it looks like now. It looks really springy now. And so you guys got to tell me what you want. So anyway, as always, I invite you to follow me on Instagram at MarcyJo631. And please like and subscribe if you like my videos. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button and the bell so you can get notified of future videos. And I want to thank you guys. I miss you guys, and I'm going to try to make some more videos, and I love you to pieces. Have a great day.